We all have different states that we operate in based on the experiences that we're going through. These different states are a natural part of our development, and it is important that parents support their children with managing their behaviors and abilities to respond to a wide range of situations and experiences. Welcome back to Global Teachership Hub. Today we're going to be examining the different performance brain stages that we operate in and how to fundamentally use them to our advantage. There are 3 states that we find ourselves in, and it is important that we understand that we go into those states when we're processing our emotions, and we will explore each of these. We will also have a look at how to deal with them. Understanding these frames helps us to build out a conscious level of self-discipline as we comprehend effective social emotional techniques that improves ours and our children's behavior and academic achievement. Dr. Becky Bailey is one of the leading experts in a team of people who work on how to explore conscious discipline, and this explores and supports individuals and parents in managing their behavior and the way in which we respond to stimuli in our environment. It's important to work on using each moment as a teaching opportunity and give children language that they can use and model responses to situations so that they can mimic or at least have a basis as to how to operate when they experience these scenarios. Children mirror more of what they see than how they perform what they hear. It is important, therefore, that we govern our behaviors. It is important that we create images in our children's brain that will help them to govern their behaviors. There are many situations that you go through and that children will experience. It is important that we use these to help them to regulate as they are processing their anger, their rage, their empathy, their compassion, and data processing and sophistication. The 3 states that we're going to be looking at are executive state, emotional state, and survival state. We're going to be looking at when these states come into active mode in our lives and how we as parents can better support our children with managing each state. The first state that we're going to look at is the executive state. It is a state of relaxed alertness. It is where we have the capacity to notice our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors. This is also the state where we are able to make good decisions and we are keen at problem solving. Children display wisdom, skills, and strengths in this stage. They are mainly curious and seeking to learn more because they feel safe, loved, and they're confident. It gives them opportunities to explore and to learn and discover safely and in a way that is age appropriate. It is therefore key that as parents, we're making sure that we're trying to see how we can get our children to be in this state for significant periods of time so that they are able to better develop themselves as human beings and have a better understanding of who they are, their aspirations, and how to go after them. The second state is the emotional state. It's a state of disconnect where they feel upset or unloved. This is often triggered by feeling excluded, rejected, neglected, or abandoned. This is a state where, as individuals, we become judgmental of others. We start blaming, and we find it difficult to see others' perspective, and we may repeat childhood behaviors. You will notice children displaying back-talking. They will also be yelling and using other verbal reactions. They are mainly seeking connection and the need to feel loved. Provide them with reassurance, help with practicing of composure, and give them choices as you also show more empathy towards them. It's important to help children to understand that their emotions, the way they feel about things, are natural, and then help them to make sense of those feelings that they're experiencing, and then how to regulate those feelings so that they are able to come out on the other end better people than before they had those experiences. And therefore, in the future, when they experience those emotions, they will understand how to regulate and how to get themselves past those feelings that can then lead them to make drastic actions that can ruin their future or that they might live to regret. The third state is the survival state, and this is a state of alertness and readiness to respond to danger. This state is where we go when we don't feel that we're safe. It allows us to implement one of either flight, fight, freeze, or fawn. Children can also become impulsive, fatigue, or lack focus when they are in this state. Children will display things such as hiding, fighting, or other physical reactions. It is important to understand that they're mainly seeking safety and security. Being in this brain state for extensive period of time increases the risk of anxiety and depression. Give children the opportunity to calm down and aid them in their breathing. Once they're ready for it, give them the reassurance that they can handle their challenges, and that gives them a reminder of their safety. Help them to realize that they're not alone and you're there for them if and when they should need your support. Exploring these three states of functioning help us to recognize how important safety, connection, and problem solving are as aspects of our needs in our lives to help us to be able to be more fulfilled and have meaningful existence. It is important that as parents we understand these stages and are able to manage it well for ourselves as well as for our children who are watching how we are modeling in each of these circumstances. Our behaviors form a scaffolding from which they are going to be building on, and so it's important that we understand the states and that we are managing each of our experiences that we have in those states in a way that is giving them strategic approaches to how to handle the states for themselves. Additionally, it's important that we know our children intimately so that we are able to understand what they need when they display each of these different states. What are some of the behaviors that you display in each of these states? What are the things that you actually need when you find yourself in any of these states? How have you made provision to ensure that you can access what you need to help you to better regulate each of these states? And how can you do the same for your children?